Hello and welcome to Morning Java, brought to you as always by Get Go Cafe and Market, where right now you can get their $3.99 breakfast special to get a small coffee, a hash brown, and a breakfast sandwich of your choice.
Or you can get 2 croissant sandwiches for $6.
What was that? Was that your French guy?
That's my little French guy.
That was your little French guy. Well, there's a lot of bread on that. It's a big sandwich.
We love our bread.
Lots of bread. You stop it, man. You're killing me. But you know what's the big story right now? Everyone knows what it is. It's Antonio Brown.
It's these croissants.
It's not these croissants. Yes, this is your Go get your sandwiches. And when you do, log on to DKPS so you can read all about Dale. You've been at the Steelers facility. You've been talking to Mike Tomlin. You've been talking to the players. What is the deal with Antonio Brown? He's punished? What is happening? Nobody seems to know.
Look, Antonio Brown is Antonio Brown. I mean,
that's great reporting right there. I'm joking.
Does he have his own set of rules on a lot of stuff? Yes, he does. He's earned that.
As most superstars do on
I was reading today about the Tom Brady book that came out, and Bill Belichick said if Tom Brady wants something changed in our training regime or wants our trainer to bring in a certain piece of equipment, we do it because he's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
So, I get that people are upset with Antonio Brown. I didn't see the sideline incident as being over the top or anything that this, was oh boy, he was yelling. He wasn't yelling.
Yeah, he was arguing.
They're talking like we're talking now.
Yeah.
Was there animation to it? Sure, absolutely.
And they were losing.
He's frustrated.
Yeah, they were losing. We've seen this before. And also, what's funny is you saw that across the NFL. A certain Tom Brady was caught yelling at his teammates and coaches when they were getting their butts kicked by Jacksonville in the same time period.
That doesn't excuse him not showing up for a team meeting.
No.
At all. I'm not doing that at all. But I think the people who are saying they should suspend him for a game. Come on, get real.
And I mean, at the same time, let's look back at Steelers history, and you see how many players, when big name players do things, you can't, like Joe Green. At one point, he picked up a football, threw it in the stands, left in the middle of the game, and at one point said he was quitting the Steelers. Do you think they tried to get rid of that guy? No, because certain players are just that good. Tom Brady's in that class for the Patriots. Antonio Brown's in that class for the Steelers. Dale, so there's a lot of hysteria going on every day. People are talking about the circus is in town with Mike Tomlin being the ringleader. Personally, I'm not feeling this narrative. I think that it's kind of overblown. The biggest thing is everyone's pointing at Antonio Brown being upset on the sidelines. We just talked about being kind of overblown, and Le'Veon Bell's not in right now in the middle of his holdout. And that seems to be taking all the attention away from what the Steelers are trying to do right now.
Yeah, and to me, it comes down to this. When you have star players, when you have guys who are stars beyond just being the fans on your team, such as Antonio Brown, such as Le'Veon Bell, and because of fantasy football, these guys people are fans of these guys beyond just being Steelers fans.
Yeah.
These are guys who are well known. Antonio Brown is on the cover of Madden. He's been on numerous magazines.
Commercials
all the time. Le'Veon Bell is a guy who was the number 1 or number 2 fantasy football pick around the league.
For years.
And also has his own rep brand,
all
that good stuff. So when you have guys like that, you're going to get attention.
Yes.
And these guys live for that attention because they have their own brand.
Right.
They have a brand beyond being a member of the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers does something, it's a big deal.
Yep.
If Tom Brady does something, it's a big deal. When you have star players, yes, it's going to be blown out of proportion to a certain degree. And I think a lot of this stuff with the Steelers is being blown out of proportion. For example, as we talked about in the previous segment, Antonio Brown having a discussion with his offensive coordinator on the sidelines.
And you could say a heated discussion because he was kind of really into it. But even so, it's like, you know what? Those things happen when you have a star player communicating with your coaches.
Those things happen on NFL sidelines every week.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
game. Around the league, guys get frustrated, especially when they're losing.
So is there a circus right now in Pittsburgh?
No, I don't believe that there is. There are too many good guys in that locker room, too many guys who are leaders, too many guys who are stand-up individuals for that to happen. Now, do I think some of those guys could take more of a hands-on approach with some of these situations? Absolutely.
Who?
Absolutely. I think if Cam Hayward stands up and says, hey, we don't do this anymore, I think a lot of guys take notice. If David DeCastro or Ramon Foster or Ben Roethlisberger stand up and say, we don't do this crap anymore, it doesn't happen anymore.
So, Dale, everyone's talking about how the defense is horrible. And, yes, they put up a horrible performance. They were lit and took apart. Whatever adjective you want to use, it was bad. But does this mean that there should be all this doom and gloom and that this defense cannot improve at all?
No, absolutely not, because I thought the week before in Cleveland,
they played very well.
They gave the team a chance to win that football game.
Yeah.
Because the offense turned the ball over 6 times.
6 times.
The defense kept them in that football game.
Yeah.
So I don't look at this as being a game where that the Steelers' defense was exposed or anything like that. I think Kansas City's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I think their offense, 10 games from now, and we're talking about what's happened in the first half of the season, or even 8 games when we're halfway through the season, I think your Kansas City Chiefs are going to be one of the top 2 or 3 offenses in the league.
I mean, you look at all their weapons: Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Patrick Mahomes. Those are 4 guys right
Travis
there.
Kelce.
Travis Kelce. And I mean, that's a 5-headed monster right there, including their offensive line, which is decent. And also, I think people forget, Andy Reid comes out red hot in so many seasons. Look at last year. The Steelers, when they dismantled a 5-0 team when they played them. Years before, when Alex Smith was hot or Don McNabb was his quarterback, Andy Reid is known for coming out red hot into seasons, especially offensively.
Because he throws new wrinkles at you that you haven't seen before.
Right.
Early in the season, especially with a young quarterback like Patrick Mahomes,
you don't know what
making his 3rd career start, you don't know what to expect from him. Mm-hmm. And this offense is so much more dangerous than previous offenses for Andy Reid because Mahomes gives them the ability to go down the field.
Yes. And he's smart. That's the thing. He's not just gunning it up, because he's had quarterbacks in the past that could throw up a deep ball. But Patrick Mahomes, when he dropped back, when he saw, okay, 2 high safeties, I'm going here. 1 high safety, I'm testing this guy. I timed it in my War Room article. The guy averaged less than 3 seconds in dropping back and throwing the ball all throughout the game. He was playing smart, and he could throw it all the way down the field. It's a different element that the Steelers really couldn't expect from just watching 3. No, that was his 3rd, so 2 NFL starts he's had. So Dale, let's expand our horizons here. Let's talk about the NFL in general. The biggest move of the week, though, has to be Josh Gordon going to the Patriots for a 5th-round pick to the Browns. It seems kind of odd to me that the Browns would one. They did another Browns moment. They announced that they were releasing him. Then they traded a guy that could be becoming a top 5 receiver in the league for a 5th-round pick. No, yeah, and that's the other thing.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Browns-like move. They should have tested the market first before announcing.
Before they announced
they didn't announce that they were going to do it. They told his agent, "Hey, we're going to release it." And then the agent, of course, runs to the Schefters and the Rappaports.
Still, you don't tell the agent that.
But I think you tell him, "Hey, we're going to shop him," and then that news gets out there, and then you field the offers for him. People who are assuming that Josh Gordon is going to go to New England and
pull a
Randy Moss. Realize that Josh Gordon has played about 10 football games in the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Yes, he had a monster year in 2013.
Right, exactly.
It's a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago. Josh Gordon, he's an extreme talent, but this guy has shown he got head case issues. And that's not saying he's a bad person, but it's clear he has not been able to focus on football. He's made a lot of mistakes. He got hurt during a promotional video, though some seem to be skeptical that he was faking that. But even if he is, that should be a red flag to a lot of teams. And people are going to say, well, the Patriots have the Patriot way and they'll be able to fix him. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case, because if he doesn't grasp their playbook, Bill Belichick is going to not be able to use him that well, because Tom Brady needs all his receivers to be exactly where he tells them to be.
They've got a guy in their roster who's Josh Gordon only better, and Cordero Patterson. He is a big-time deep threat, and they're not using him. You don't get better at playing football by not playing football.
Yeah.
And Josh Gordon has not played a lot of football over the last 4 or 5 years.